talk to you about relationships. When I was in the 7th grade, I read a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. My father, when each one of the children, I was the middle child, got to the 7th grade, he literally paid us an allowance to read books that he put in our hands because he felt that reading good books could change your life, and that was one of those books. That did change my life. In fact, I read that book every year through high school and took 2 Dale Carnegie relationship classes while I was in high school. And what I knew as a very young man that I'm sharing with you now as a very old man is this: the quality of your relationships will determine the quality of your life. I wrote a book called 25 Ways to Win with People, which was really a book that was kind of my Dale Carnegie book, helping people to win with relationships. And in that book, on 25 Ways to Win with People, there are 5 people practices that I want to give you that will help you in getting better relationally with other people. Number 1, practice the 30-second rule. This is a simple thing that you can do, and you can start doing it immediately. The 30-second rule means that within the first 30 seconds that you see somebody or meet them, say something positive about their life. Compliment them. Something that is nice. In the first 30 seconds, be intentional to start your conversation off in a positive way with another person. The second thing that I would encourage you to do, it's a great practice, is to listen with your heart. Now, I know we have ears to listen, but listening with your heart is wanting to listen. It focuses on us really wanting to understand the person that we're hearing from. Now, this is a practice that I had to learn because I was not a naturally good listener. In fact, I had one of my staff members one day come up to me and have an honest moment with me and say, "John, you don't listen to us." And for a moment, that was hard for me to receive, and I kind of pushed back and was defensive. But the longer that I thought about it, the more I realized that she was exactly right. I didn't listen well. And so for the next couple of years on my legal pad, I'd put a big L over in the right-hand top corner of that legal pad. That big L just stood for listen. And I would get into meetings, and I would be tempted to talk more than I should, and I'd see the big L on the legal pad, and I'd just say, "Shut up, John. Listen. Listen with your heart. Listen to understand. Listen to care." The third thing that I would encourage you to practice in relationships is to remember a person's story. I've discovered that everyone has a story, and I love to hear what their story is. I love to ask them about their story. I can remember Margaret and I, many years ago, going into an Italian restaurant down in the area where we live in Florida called Evo's. And as we were ordering food, I asked for a Coke Zero, and the waitress said they didn't have Coke Zero there. They had Diet Coke. So I said, okay, and I took the Diet Coke. We came in about maybe a month later, and I sat down, and I started ordering my food, and the waitress came up to me, and she had a Coke Zero. And she began to pour it into my glass of ice, and I looked at her and said, "Oh, my goodness, you got Coke Zero." She said, "Sure, Mr. Maxwell." She said, "When you were here last, you said that was your favorite drink, and so we have it now in stock for you. We remembered that's what you liked, and so therefore we wanted to serve you well." You see, she remembered my story. And one of the best ways to value people is just to remember their stories. It will make them feel special. Number 4, create a memory and visit it often. I love to create memories. In fact, I try to do it on a daily basis. And with my children as they grew up, and now with my grandchildren, I was always asking them 2 questions. Every experience that we had, big experience, small experience, it didn't matter. I would ask them these 2 questions. What did you love and what did you learn? I've been asking those questions now for 40 years. And trust me, every experience that you have, you need to evaluate and pull out of that experience something that will help you grow and learn. Asking a person what they love, what they learned, will help them to kind of evaluate those experiences and create those memories with those families and other people around you that they just will never forget. And finally, help people win. This works with family, this works with friends and business associates. Help people to learn how to win. What I've discovered is that most people go through experiences of life and they don't get a lot of wins. And if you have the ability to make things happen for yourself, then help make things happen for others. In fact, one of the great transitions I had in my life relationally was when I quit trying to make things happen always for me, and I began to set things up that would happen for others so that they could experience the wins, so they could experience the joys. Here's what I know. As you look back on your life, the relationships that you have on your life will give you your greatest memories, and they'll also give you your most difficult, saddest moments. But if you're intentional in building into people's lives and adding value to people on a daily basis, I can promise you, you'll have a lot of good memories with a lot of good people that will give you a foundation of relational success. Because leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Where do you gain influence with people? By connecting with them and relating to them. Remember this, people won't go along with you unless they can get along with you. So be a person that they can get along with. And then you can go together on that journey. Now, today's round table is going to be a little different than all the previous ones. You're going to do this regular round table on relationships now. But after you're done, your leader is going to invite you to watch another video called My Most Important Relationship. In that lesson, I'm going to talk to you about my faith in God, which is my most important relationship. Now, this session is going to be totally voluntary. So if you don't want to participate, it's okay. You can leave. I only want you to stay if you want to stay, but I hope you do. Because if you do stay, you're going to hear me talk about the thing that has helped me to be a success more than anything else. If you said, John, what's the one factor that's made you successful? I'd have to say it's the faith factor. So go ahead now and enjoy your roundtable on relationships. And after that, you'll have an opportunity to hear me talk to you about my most important relationship. And I'm excited about that. Because honestly, it could become your most important relationship also. And it will form your journey to success.